David Njoroge is here as the CEO of the Road Safety Association and joins us in the hot seat of the Situation Room this morning. David, good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Very much fine.
Karibu.
Asante sana.
Got here without too much of an issue, we hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So there's certain things that have been happening or certain things that have been said in terms of what NTSA is going to institute into the very near future. But we're all a little bit confused about what that all is.
Sure.
We tried to get the folks at NTSA to come and talk to us about that, but it seems that they're a bit busy. Yeah. And maybe we'll get them in the future, but we're going to have the conversation anyway because it affects people.
Sure.
Before we get into that, Dennis is going to share today's proverb. We'd love to get your interpretation of it.
Sure.
Today we're in Liberia, a country that is of many fasts, the very first republic in the continent, that is in 1847, the very first country as well in the continent to elect a female president. That would be Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. They are rich in iron ore, rubber, gold, diamond and timber. And it is a country that was formed by the released slaves from the Americas. So most of them, African Americans, came back and formed the country that is Liberia. The proverb that we get this morning: when spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion.
Yes. When
spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. How would you interpret it?
Let me say, in short, strength.
Mm-hmm.
Strength is when you're united. Mm-hmm. You cannot be united when you're alone. Mm-hmm. But when united, when we work together, there's no challenge we cannot, which we cannot defeat. Mm-hmm. So very simple. Even as you talk of the country there, when you talk about it, if people are united, yes, she's a lady president, the first. But if it's properly united with her people, they can succeed by making country better. Thank you.
Unity is power.
Yes.
Indeed. It is.
Yes.
So, first, we just need to understand there have been several declarations about what NTSA is going to do into the near future.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it because it's necessary for us to understand what some of these are. There's vehicle inspection, which needs to take place.
Yeah.
There's something about if your vehicle is just 4 years old, then, or rather, if it's more than 4 years old, then there's a particular penalty, fine that you then must pay. So we're starting to see this all over again. Explain to us, from what you understand so far, what is going on with NTSA?
I think there was a time I was here, and I remember me saying that NTSA is properly captured by the government. Okay. What you call state capture, because the initiative are good. Vehicles should be inspected. Even if you go to the developed countries, vehicles 4 years old, they're inspected. And that is something which we were proposing as Road Safety Association, and we pushed it. And but all of a sudden, it was hijacked. We did not say that private vehicles to be going for inspection after every 1 year. That is not possible. It was after every 4 years, then these vehicles are properly checked when they are getting into our roads. And as we come to that was just part of our recommendation. Because we were losing, and we are still losing, over 5,000 Kenyans every year. So we came up with many recommendations, because we were trying to look at the areas whereby we can reduce these accidents. And we had many areas. About private inspection, I think it was the last. There were the first things which were supposed to be implemented, which have not yet been implemented. Because if you talk of inspection, in our country, we have only 17 inspection centers. And they are supposed to inspect all PSV vehicles and any heavy commercial vehicle. That is their work. 17. And in the 17, as we are talking, we've been complaining that vehicles are not properly inspected. So why do we start to bring private vehicles? And the ones which are supposed to be inspected, already they are not inspected. So and if you look at the trend, like last year, heavy commercial vehicles, these heavy lorries, every accident killing many people, they were involved. And then we said 4 to 5 years, these vehicles have never been inspected. So that was the first area we were supposed to approach. Then from there, we looked at the numbers. Riders were the number was very high. So we wanted the Matiang'i, whatever they were doing, to be implemented, which they did. We spent a lot of government money coming up with what's supposed to be done, but it has never been done. Then we were coming to the pedestrians. How can we save these people? Because the number of the pedestrians was high. So when we again see that private vehicles must go for inspection, there is no, even those inspection centers are not there, and now you want it to start by the first month of July, and all vehicles must be inspected. Who is going to inspect these vehicles? Where are they going? That was a challenge.
Are you saying that today, as we speak, based off the current existing conditions or requirements, that all the business or vehicles being used for business purposes should undergo inspection? That even at the moment, using the 17 centers, we are not able to do that. Does this point to the fact that even if we were to implement the new regulations, still NTSA does not have capacity?
They don't have
to implement that provision. One asks the question, then why pass it? Why push for it?
Because there was a lot of interest inside from the highest offices, a lot of interest. This is why we realized that it is given to a private entity. We don't know how this private entity came to be, and then all of a sudden, even the cameras, you call it a PPP. It is a private partnership. You see what I mean? And when you use that model, you can give an example with the expressway. Look at the expressway. Yes, it was under that model. But first of all, the people who are given, they were to build the expressway so that now they can start getting their money back. But this is completely different. They want to use the already cameras which are there, fixed by Kenha and Safaricom, and then they want to reap money there and start getting their money. So that is why some of us went to court, because we were there from the beginning, starting from for that implementation. We were there. Then there was things which were supposed to be done before it is implemented. So many things were to be done. We needed to know, where are we going to get the equipment of inspecting these vehicles? Who will bring these equipment? Because they must be standard, the same thing, not different things. So all these things were not done. But all of a sudden, surprise, that the inspection, it has been passed, and vehicles from fast, people will start being arrested. So that is why we had to go to court. In fact, we were the first people to go to court, and we went to Nyeri. We said that there was no proper participation, and that case was thrown out, and they said that there was enough participation. But now everything can prove that Kenyans now are complaining. Then come again, NTSA is trying to bite so much that it cannot even swallow. Then from there, they are talking about instant fines. Here comes a company called Pesaprint. It is involved. Pesaprint, we've been complaining about it because it was awarded 2 billion contract to make sure that every Kenyan have a digital driving license. Today, how many Kenyans have those digital driving license? They don't have. And all of a sudden, we see again, it is now awarded another 4 billion to do the same thing which they were supposed to do.
Are you saying that a company that had been given work to do before, say, the issuance of digital licenses and failed to do that, is the same company that has been given more roles, yet based off existing evidence, it failed?
I'm telling you, more rules. They are the ones in charge of these instant cameras. They are the ones, again, in the same contract, again, coming up with another digital driving license. We don't know whether it is just like the other one or what is going on. So, it's confusing Kenyans. And I want to tell you, when I was here, I remember I told you guys that NTSA is under the state capture. We have the right people in NTSA. For the first time, we have an engineer as the DG. We have the best. We have Mwashetani as the chair of the board of NTSA. But I want to tell you that these people have nothing to say. The NTSA is now controlled, and I want to say this without fear. It is now controlled by the PS Transport, Mr. Mohammed Daga. I'm telling you, everything is about presidential directives. And the DG said this when he was in one of the media houses. He said it clear that he is following the presidential directives.
Okay.
NTSA was not formed.
Okay, I guess you read my mind, because my question then, what is NTSA's role?
Yeah.
National Transport Safety Authority.
Yes.
So 2 questions.
Yeah.
Before NTSA, because NTSA is not that old.
Yeah.
Before NTSA, what was there? And then now, what is this NTSA supposed to be doing?
Before NTSA, we had a body called TLB.
Yes.
TLB, we realized we were the people who funded NTSA. We were the people who fought for NTSA to be...
Is who now?
The Road Safety Association of Kenya. Getting other groups. In fact, when we went to the ministry, first of all, we were not allowed even to get to the ministry, but the late Honorable Raila Omolo assisted us. He's the one we took everything, what you see in NTSA, even the name NTSA, we crafted that. One, because we had a body called TLB. And now we realize TLB was purposely dealing with what you call these PSV vehicles. It was not dealing with high, these commercial vehicles. It was not dealing with even pedestrians, these borders and all these. So we wanted a body which will combine everything. So we come up a body which will be able to bring everybody together on board. And that is why we wanted an authority formed. And that is how NTSA was formed. In fact, if you look at our recommendation, it was very clear that NTSA, just like the way Nigeria do or Britain they do, they have such bodies, they were to have their own marshals, getting them direct from the Keganjo, because it's only in Keganjo where police are trained. Then they can get these marshals, they can train them further for another 6 months for them now to be enrolled in NTSA. That was the purpose, so that NTSA would be on the road, because they bring policies. They need to see their policies implemented. They are like enforcers. You cannot say that they are not supposed to enforce. So they are still supposed to be on the road. But due to the corruption and what happened there, again, because of the same Ministry of Transport, Uhuru, when he was the president, he diverted the whole NTSA back to the Ministry of Interior. And because of the same corruptions which was going on in NTSA. And then after that, when we got the new government, this government, now it was taken back to the Ministry of Transport. With now instructions and with the new PS, Mohamed Daga. And that is where the problem is.
Okay.
So again, what's the role of NTSA?
Okay, now, the role of NTSA, if you look at the real formation of it, it was supposed to make sure that accidents are brought down. Because by the time NTSA was being formed, the numbers were at 3,000. So it was not about just implementing and coming up with the policies. They were supposed to make sure, they were supposed to lead all agencies or everybody who deals with safety. And they were to be the one on top of everybody. So that the whatever laws, whatever, they are the ones who are supposed to be in charge. When we were bringing it, our first thinking was that they'll be there. They will not control the police. The police will still be on the road, just like in Nigeria, and police get their instructions from their head bosses, and then NTSA can come up with their marshals on the road, just the way in Nigeria is, just the way in Britain it is, that the body which is in charge of these things can now be able to make sure that whatever policies are made are implemented. The police are implemented because NTSA today, they are the policy makers. So these policies, who are supposed to implement? It is NTSA. Who is supposed to enforce is the police officers. So that implementation is what we can see that it is not properly done.
So it seems to me as though what NTSA is doing today, or what it was instituted to do, was already being done. And that is very possible for it to continue being done without NTSA.
It was done properly because most of the things were done by KRA. If you remember, things to do with driving licenses, getting number plates, all this was coming through KRA. So everything was done. Inspection centers were manned by the police. those time, before the NTSA came in, everything was done. But now we wanted them to bring everything together in one body, so that, because you could see driving license done by KRIA, they were the ones who are giving the driving licenses. You are trained by a police, you are to be trained by the police officers, then hire from there, the inspection, you have to go to an inspection center where it was a police manning. So we brought all of them under one body. That is the authority. This is NTSA. Yes.
You mentioned something that NTSA was from the instant supposed to get its marshals from Kiganjo, who would be police officers, and take them towards further training for them to come and now implement the policies put in place by NTSA. And you say that that changed at the time when former president, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, moved things, right, from transport to interior. Now, today, as we speak, as we see NTSA, has it reverted to its original formation, where we have these trainings we're talking about, that the marshals that you're talking about are enshrined within NTSA to implement its policy? Or is that the point within which NTSA is failing to deliver?
One thing you must understand is that when NTSA was again returned to the ministry, all these things were supposed to take place. But now, all of a sudden, something happened that I want to tell you that NTSA, they are not doing what they are supposed to do. Somebody somewhere, and that is what we call state capture. Somebody somewhere, and that's why I mentioned, which is not right, but I mentioned the name, that anything which is happening in NTSA, it is even when the board is meeting, the presidential directives, and even some. That's why we are saying we want the president to come out and be very clear that is he involved in these things? Because when we talk of, and if you see even to the public, people are talking, who is this Pesaprint? How did he come? How come that the president can all of a sudden, when there are the rules, and come and says from this time, graffitis must continue, something which was banned. So, and then from there, when the president says his word is final. So from there, you see the vehicles doing everything on the road. Nobody can touch. They're untouchable vehicles. You see, like the other day, another one, they call now Manyoka, the way they are moving, killed 5. Who talked about it? Why was nobody has ever discussed about the SACCO? We have seen SACCOs being banned. We have seen them being suspended. But why can we see, and we continue seeing, vehicles misbehaving on our roads, and nobody, not even a police officer, can stop them? Then the question is, they are behind who? Who is behind this?
Who is behind
because the law must be followed by every Kenyan.
Okay, I'd like us to take a break and then come back. And then, based on what you've just said, let's revisit the issue when we say, with all of that taken into consideration, how then is it possible that the same body is being asked to re-register all of these vehicles? And whether it's actually possible. We've already established that it's not. So why would somebody ask them to do that? We'll come back and we'll continue with this and then see if it's actually going to be adhered to. Is everybody just going to ignore it and continue about their business? Because that seems as though that's what's going on right now. We'll come back and continue in a short bit. Dave Njoroge is here with us as the CEO of the National Safety Association, and we're going to come back and continue. Also, at some point, take a spot check and see what's going on in different parts of the country on this Saba day. Good morning at 27 minutes to 10.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. Traffic.
So nothing really traffic in terms of on the roads today. You're looking pretty good in most parts of the country, one would assume. But if we're going to look at Nairobi, which is usually the busiest, it's not really happening. As you go towards the city, you're fine. And I know that there's several spot checks in different parts today. There's definitely one coming in from Mlolongo, getting in towards the airport, just before Cabanas. There's one also then coming in from Langata Road as you then try to approach the city. And there's also one coming off of Wayaki Way. So that's what we know of so far. And so because there's no traffic on the roads, we'll tell you where the spot checks are. But we'll see as then traffic flows through the rest of the day. We'll keep informed, won't we? Yes, we shall. SpiceFM KE on X hashtag The Situation Room.
Turn up up the heat with endless entertainment on Star Times. Feel every moment of the action as the biggest leagues reach their thrilling finales. Recharge your monthly subscription to unlock a world of endless drama to enjoy Novella E, now available on your Nyota bouquet. Dive into blockbuster movies with the launch of TNT, your new home of big screen hits. And for the little ones, a world of non-stop fun on Cartoon Network, now on Star Times. News, sports, drama, movies, kids, and reality all in one place. All for you. To renew your subscription, dial *858# for self-service or get in touch with our call center on 0719 077 077 for customer care. Buy a Star Times decoder at any of our deal shops countrywide. Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
We continue with our conversation. And so now, having laid that foundation and understanding what was there before, what is there today, why on earth would somebody give someone the gargantuan task of inspecting all of these vehicles when they don't have the capacity to do it?
A very good question. That is where we are. Those are our questions. We are asking. We have over 6 million to 7 million vehicles in this country.
Yeah.
And we are talking of 17 inspection centers. And here you are talking that you are giving these inspection centers to private entities. So first of all, those private entities must first of all build these inspection centers. They must make sure that everything is in the working condition. But you cannot tell us today, we are starting this. In fact, it was us who stopped this in court. But it's supposed to be going on. How? The question is, how will these vehicles be inspected? That is just a way of the way collecting money from motorists. Because today, if a police officer stops you, the vehicle is not inspected. What else do you expect? Taken to court? But you are not given a chance even for that vehicle to be able to take to the inspection. Because the inspection itself is not there.
Because if we're talking about 6 million to 7 million in 17 points, but let's just take Nairobi, for example, just a little look up, and in Nairobi, approximately, we have almost 900,000 vehicles with one NTSA inspection center. That means if you look at an inspection of a vehicle, one would say close to 10 or 12 areas that need to be looked into, and thoroughly so, before we say this vehicle is fit to go to the road.
Yes.
And if we're looking at that, that would be almost a whole day affair, perhaps maybe on 1 or 2, 3 vehicles. And if you do not have capacity, NTSA is saying we will implement that. And knowing very well we are not able to do that, creating panic in Kenyans and all the corruption cases, allegations that we hear today. Has NTSA turned out to be a money minting machine? But who benefits from that?
I will tell you the beneficiaries. I give you just an example with the instant fines. Where was that money going?
Where was it going to?
So that is now where we are, because any traffic offense, it is about judiciary. This is a traffic offense. And now, surprisingly, the account, you are told to go to KCB, to pay your money to KCB. Even you don't know who, KCB has very many accounts. And every account has to have a name. Who is the name of that account? Who bears that account?
But I thought all government business goes to e-Citizen.
E-Citizen. 222.
Yeah, everything for NTSA, if you want to pay any money to go to NTSA, you pay to e-Citizen. But this one they removed.
Why?
They gave a different account, which is at KCB. Even they were reporting, even the DG was in the media saying you have to go to the KCB to make the payment. But the question is, even NTSA, when we talk of money collected on our roads, they are not even supposed to go to NTSA. NTSA is not entitled even to collect any money. So this money should go to the judiciary account, because it is a process. And if you look at the ticket, if you go look at that ticket, it is not giving anybody another option. It is only giving you one option, to pay. But it is not giving you an option that you can say, no, I want to go to court. So, and when you go at that fine, it is very clear. There is to maximum to minimal of fines which a judge can give you. This maximum is 10,000 when you are overspeeding. Now, you are right. You have the right as a Kenyan to go to court, and then You are listened, and then you are heard. But now this ticket is not giving you any other option. The option is you pay, or your vehicle will be arrested.
Because what we hear then is National Transport Safety Authority. We're talking about the safety aspect of it. And when you talk about a traffic offence, it's an offence. That means it's you've gone against the law.
Yes.
And for you to rectify that, then you need to be taken to court.
That
for
is
you to
where we
argue
are.
your matter,
Yes.
for a judge to pronounce themselves on the same.
Yes.
That even if it is paying an instant fine, then it ought to go to judiciary.
Yes.
And then judiciary is supposed to also tell us in the financial year 27-28, we collected 10 billion shillings from instant fines that have gone on the road.
Yeah.
But is that then a way of saying we are implementing something that is shrouded in mystery?
Of course, that's where we are. But one thing I want you to understand, all Kenyans were ready for the instant fines, because also there was a lot of corruption with the police. Because if you're arrested on the road and maybe your fine is only 1,000, and then the whole day the police officer is in your vehicle, the whole day for him to give you a ticket, it was at least there was a lot of corruption in that area. But one thing, we cannot finish a corruption, want to clear corruption, adding more corruption on the other side, because every Kenya was ready for it if it came in the right way. That this is a ticket, it has come, it has an option. You can say no, I'm given 7 days, I can present myself in court, and then I can, from there, I can be charged. But you cannot tell me you give somebody a ticket and he has no say, and it is we say they are traffic offences, and even those traffic offences, it is the judge, it is a court which can determine whether you made a mistake or what you're supposed to pay. But now you see here, now we have removed the judiciary. Now the money is paid to KCB. And you see, even many people are complaining. Other money is going to other people called Kinacheronos. Other different accounts, which we don't know where these accounts, who came up with these accounts. We need a proper discussion about it. We need public participation. People should. You cannot just, and then whatever, let me tell you, these cameras are just fixed, and the people who are doing this because they're in business. It's not about road safety. If you look at the cameras, like now, Thika Road, experts suppose a vehicle should do 110. From 110, their Safari Park, you find a camera, and now from there, you're supposed to do 50. Because that camera, if you do over 50, it will capture you, and you'll be fined. Even where you fix these cameras, Kenyans should know. It should not be something like you are doing it in a secret way. Expressway, you find a camera in an expressway. God, for God's sake. Expressway, you tell somebody to drive at 50. These cameras should be even gazetted that they are on this road, because you are not doing this. You are doing this for safety. You are not doing this like you are trying to trap motorists so that you can get money from them. No. And if you look at the way they have been installed, this is a trap, because they want to make money, and this money is not going to the government. And we are saying that with confidence, it's going to people's pocket.
Okay, because what we're saying is that for a government fund or a government account, it should go through the channel. The president was very clear years ago that this e-citizen was being created for this same thing.
Yes.
So the radar is up now when somebody makes a payment for the supposed vehicle inspection, and there's somebody's name, an individual's name at the end of that transaction. Are these some of the reasons why you went to court? Or did you go to court even before we started hearing stories of people paying this money to a personal account?
Because we were involved even in the formation of all these things. And I want to tell you, our surprise was when the president made a declaration account. Is it a judiciary account or e-citizen account? Because it is the president himself who said that every money, government collected money by the government, should be channeled through e-citizen. Our question is, why then? Is this not government money?
And NTSA is the government authority, is it not?
It is a government.
It's a government.
Oh, okay.
So the thing is we wanted them to be very clear, but the time we realized they are not even clear, and they have even now started collecting this money, we had to dash to court to say that this is what we intended, and this was the intention of these instant fines. It was meant for safety, not for collection of money. No. NTSA, the formation of NTSA is not a body to collect money for the government. No. About collection, about creating employment, that is out completely from NTSA.
Okay.
NTSA purpose and the work of NTSA is safety, to make sure that we have safety on our roads.
Okay, and how exactly is this done? This thing that they're actually supposed to be doing, how is it ensured that there is safety on the roads by NTSA? What are the things that they do?
First of all, I want to tell you, with what they are doing currently, it's not about safety, it's about business. But it's supposed to be about safety. Make sure that if it is a road, you're supposed to do 110. If there is a camera, it is capturing you at when you are doing more than 110. And also, we want them to understand that many people, you can have 10 vehicles. You have employed drivers. Why is this fine coming to the owner of the vehicle? That money, you cannot put all that to the owner of the vehicle. Some things like this should go to the driver, because you say, for instance, you have a company, you have about 20 vehicles. They are on the road, you have employed your drivers, and then 10 of them do such thing, over speeding. Then every fine is 10 to 20,000. For sure, that business cannot be done. So we say, and that is where we wanted to have a proper sitting, so that we can even come up with a system whereby if the driver is given a vehicle, he logs in, and NTSA can know which driver is driving this vehicle. So if it is a fine, let it go to the driver.
David, you see, when you talk about safety on the roads, for me, I think it goes deeper beyond just implementing policy. Because for us to say NTSA is out here ensuring that we have safety, they have to be including in the design,
yes,
in the construction,
yes,
and even commissioning of these roads.
Yes.
Why? Because if they are the ones who are coming in to say between here and here you need 50, you need to go below 50, then it is them who should work together with KENHA in constructing these roads. But are these conversations that ever come up even in the initial feasibility studies in putting up roads to decide in this area, this is the speed, in this area we need a footbridge? Because along highways, we have speed bumps in an area that you're supposed to do 100. Case in point, Waihaki towards Nakuru, you know. So are they looking at safety as their core role, or is theirs a cash cow?
What I want to tell you, it is all about cash cow. And I said when I began here that NTSA role is not to make money, is not to generate money. It is to make sure that there is safety. And then I said we have very competent people in NTSA now, because having an engineer and a guy who has done proper IT, we thought we were very lucky, because everything now is going digital. So we thought we were going somewhere. But what I want to tell you is that even he has no any power, because it is all about presidential directives. And that is why I mentioned somebody like Mohammed Daga, the PS in transport. He's behind all these things. We are saying that because we are in it. We know exactly what is happening. We know exactly where the problem is. But our problem was, why is the president? Because everything, presidential directives, even others, now we believe, are not coming direct from the president. They are coming from presidential directives, but there are people behind Daga who wants to do business. Because all this business, they are thinking about how can we make money? Yes, there's a problem in this country, but people are dying, and through this now we can do our business. That is it. Not safety.
David.
Because if you talk of safety, there are measures to be taken. In fact, we were not even supposed to start discussing about inspections and the fines first. We were to discuss, where do we have the problem? Where are we supposed to fix this camera? Where do we have a black spot? We have many people are dying as pedestrians. Which road can we put a footbridge? Okay, border riders. We have all over every county, every hospital. We have a word for them. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to give them civic education so that they understand the role they are playing in this country? Because seriously, is our economy. They bring up our economy. So, are we supposed first of all to train them, or are we supposed first of all to think where the money is? Where can we get money fast? Is it in the inspection centers? Because we want to be the people bringing the equipment. We know the peers went even to Germany to look for those. We know we have all the information to make sure that he has a company which will bring this equipment. No, we want people to sit down and agree. What are the equipments? Where can we get equipments? We know that we have equipments in Northern Korea, Southern Korea. We have very many. In China, we can have the same equipments, which are even cheaper. Because the aim is not about making the money, but the aim is safety.
David, if you ask any Kenyan today about the NTSA, it is always about money.
Yes.
We don't even think about its role, yet it's written there. It is safety, But even with the money that NTSA has collected, you as a stakeholder, you understand it way better. With the money that NTSA has collected, show us where that money has been invested back into the safety aspect of NTSA on our roads. Is there any that you can point?
Sure, we have even done a letter, and we wanted, since the formation of NTSA, they can just show, we were asking, there's a lot of money collected through NTSA. Can you just show us, even a footbridge, anything, even this civic education you see, if you talk of civic education, they bring some few things, adverts there, and the thing is off. We need to have, NTSA should have a mechanism whereby people are properly educated about road safety. We should see them on the road,
right,
trying to educate our border riders, trying to educate even the normal pedestrians that you are not supposed to pass through this because of this and this and this. But what do we see from them? Anything you hear from NTSA today, let them make any announcement, is about money.
Okay, with that, I want to say thank you very much, David, of course, we've come to the top of it, for joining us in the conversation this morning. And of course, we're looking forward to more about this, because it's still a bit of a confusing tip for a lot of people. Asante Sana. David Njoroge has been here with us this morning. And of course, it is Saba Saba Day. Whatever it is that you do out there today, please remain safe. We'll continue with these conversations as we go on. Good morning, everybody.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.